Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to hook up your StudioLive AI mixer and connect your iOS devices. Now, one of the cool things that we did with the new AI mixers is we now have direct Wi-Fi connection. So in other words, you don't have to have a laptop or a desktop computer to be able to run all of your iOS devices. Now, you have two ways to connect to your wireless router. You can either use the hardwired Ethernet that's on the back of the mixer, or you can connect wirelessly to your router using the built-in Wi-Fi dongle. Now, I will say for professional application, we recommend using the hardwired Ethernet. It's just a more solid, more direct connection. But if you're in a place that you cannot get to the router because of space or something like that, you also have the option to connect wirelessly. Okay, so the first thing that you need is a wireless router that you have configured to be a private network with its own password. It's always great to have your own password, that way nobody else can kind of log in the middle of the show and start messing with your in-ear mix. So once you've done that, the first thing I'm going to show you is hooking up using the wired connection on the Ethernet on the back of the board. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, so if you look at the back of the wireless router, you'll notice that there are LAN ports here, and then there's also what's labeled either Internet or WLAN. And what you want to do is go from one of the LAN outputs of your router into the Ethernet input that's on the back of the StudioLive AI. And as soon as I do that, if you go to page 2 of the system menu, you'll see right here, all I have to do is hit recall to scan, and you'll see this IP number change from 0 to, here's 192.168. So what's really great about this is I don't have to manually type in the IP address. The board just knows that it's connected, just like a computer does. You just plug it in, hit recall to scan, just so you can see that there's a number there, and you're done. You can also connect your StudioLive to your router wirelessly using the Wi-Fi dongle that we've included. So if you get to the gig and you need to do this, you just plug in the Wi-Fi dongle, and you will need to power cycle the mixer. And once it comes up, you're going to hit the system button and then scroll down to page 2. And then you'll see right here where it says available networks. That's where all of the Wi-Fi networks are going to show up. But you need to scan to see which networks are available. So you just hit recall to scan. It says it right here. Hit recall. And then you can actually scroll through all of the available Wi-Fi networks. And this is really, really cool because you don't have to guess. You don't have to put in the Wi-Fi name. Now, as soon as you find the network that you want, all you have to do is hit store to join, and then it's going to ask you for the password. Now, you need to make sure that you put in the password exactly like it is on the router. So if there's capital letters or any kind of punctuation or whatever, you need to make sure it's exact. You just put in the password, hit store to continue, and it's going to connect wirelessly. So that's basically how you connect the StudioLive to your router. Okay, now that our mixer is connected to the network, I'm going to go ahead and hook up our iOS devices. So here's the iPad. I'm going to hit the settings button, and on the Wi-Fi page, we're going to look for the same network that we're connected to on the mixer, and in this case, it's the PreSonus network. We're going to put in our password and hit join. Okay, on some routers, you may see this screen pop up, and it's going to say you failed to access the web page that you wanted to view. Well, remember, we're not trying to get on the internet. We're just trying to access that private closed network, okay? So all you have to do is you hit cancel, and then you're going to hit use without internet. Okay, so you may not even see that screen, and if you don't, then all you have to do is look for the little Wi-Fi symbol in the upper left-hand side. As long as you see that, you're good. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is close that out and open up StudioLive Remote. And if everything is connected correctly, you should see the StudioLive board right here pop up, and I just click on that to connect. And then you'll see the screen, and you notice everything's kind of grayed out. And why is it grayed out? Well, that means I have not yet set up my permissions for the board. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the System menu, and we're going to scroll down to page 3, the iOS setup page. And I'm going to find the different iOS devices. And of course, I only have one connected, so you can see here's my iPad. And this is where I set up my permissions. So if I use the next button and go over to Mix, this is where I can give control to whoever needs control. So let's say the iPad is going to be used for front of house. So now I'm going to use the scroll wheel to the front of house position. And as you can see, now it changed. And now I have access to the entire board. So all of the auxes, you know, the master, graphic EQs, everything. But what if this iPad was for the keyboard player on stage, and let's say he's on, you know, aux 3, and I only want to give him access to aux 3. Well, now all I have to do is go back to that page 3 and change from front of house to aux 3. And as you can see here, now when I go back to my iPad, look, the keyboard player doesn't have control over the master mix. And when you hit the aux mixer, he only has control over aux 3. Okay, so you know, same thing. If I wanted to give him aux 2, as you can see, I can just flip through the different auxes right here. Another thing that's kind of cool is that you also have the ability to give this guy, you know, control over all of the auxes. So maybe you only have one iPad on the stage, and you've got one guy on stage that's going to kind of mix monitors for the whole band. If I go over here to the all auxes selection, now you can see he's got access to all of the different auxes. Here's aux 2, here's aux 3, aux 4. But if he goes to the front of house, he doesn't have, that's all grayed out. So to connect your next iOS device, it's exactly like the first one. I go ahead and go to Settings, I select the Wi-Fi network I want, put in the password, and then I'll come to this page. So in this case, I'm on an iPhone 5S, and I have QMix, and I hit Connect to the StudioLive mixer. And once again, as you can see, everything is kind of grayed out. That's because no permissions have been set up. So all I have to do is go over to the same page here, iOS Setup, page 3. And if I scroll right here under Device, you can see I can have multiple devices. So the first one was the iPad, the second one is my iPhone, and let's say I'm going to be on aux 7, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on aux 7. And now, as you can see, my phone has access to aux 7, but no other auxes are selected. So if you have any other questions, feel free to go to our website at www.presonus.com. We've got a really great knowledge base under the support section, and thanks a lot for watching this video.